Welcome back to video number 2. This is our palette cleanser. All right, we have a lot to cover, so let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off. ATFX, which is a global fine tech broker, had dinner at Windsor Castle where their clients from Asia and Latin America came into town, and they got to eat with Prince Edward. I love that. Let's move on now to Princess Anne, looking absolutely gorgeous in purple. And just a few days ago, she went to a commemorative service to mark 200 years of Scottish fire and rescue services at St. Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. I love how the guy at the end, you see him holding the flowers in the jar. He's like waiting for her to get there. Look, he's eyeing her. All right, sticking with Princess Anne, also a few days ago, she is the patron of UK coaching, and she led the celebrations to 300 Olympic and Paralympic coaches for all the hard work they did to support their athletes. I've seen that suit before with the plaid. I can't place it at this exact moment. But all right, let's move on to Charles and Camilla because they arrived at the, I believe it's pronounced Vallejo International Airport in Samoa after leaving Australia. Camilla's looking gorgeous in that outfit. Now, this is the beginning of their 4-day visit there. He's going to preside for the very first time over a gathering of Commonwealth presidents and prime ministers. He was greeted by the Prime Minister, oh my God, I'm going to try to say it just this once, Fiomi Naomi Madafa. Woo! Okay, so he greeted Charles and Camilla at the international airport. I love that. There was a red carpet that was rolled out. They had people out there vacuuming at the last minute. The Royal Samoan Police Band was playing right when they came down the stairs. They were met at the bottom by a lot of local officials. Fabulous. This is the way it should have been. Now, Charles did say that they couldn't wait to arrive in Samoa and experience the, quote, warmth of the country's ancient traditions. Now, what they did was really cool because they spruced up the route going from the airport in. So each little village along the way, apparently it's being reported, adopted a country, and the residents decorated their houses and adorned their lawns with the corresponding flags. How wonderful is that? Flashing lights in the trees and bushes, and your rooftops, car tires were repurposed as flower pots and painted in bright colors. And I just think that's lovely. They've really rolled out the red carpet. I have to tell you, Angela Levin even said that the welcome in Samoa was, and I'm quoting, 10 times more dignified than the rather scrappy affair on arrival in Sydney, that the Samoans acted with perfect island protocol and played God Save the King the way it used to be played. Ooh. You know, I just want to say, I thought Australia did decent. The people there obviously love, just because they have some crappy politicians, you know what I'm saying. But I think the Australian people love Charles. That's my opinion. Now, let me just say, except for the incident of the paint on the Victorian statue and that stupid senator, I thought the Australian tour went really well. That's just me. But yeah. Okay, so they arrived safely, and of course it was nighttime, so they went wherever they went for the night, and now we're on to the first full day of the tour. So the next morning, King Charles and Queen Camilla were officially welcomed to Samoa with a royal, it's called an AVA, AVA ceremony, which saw them wear ceremonial garlands and drink an AVA drink from a coconut shell. Okay, so this was hosted by the Samoan head of state and his village. This is a special ceremony that is reserved strictly for monarchs. It was supposed to be outside, but apparently that morning there was a torrential rainfall, and so they moved it inside. People from a local village were included in this. There were 2 men in traditional dress who acted as ceremonial attendants, and one opened the proceedings welcoming the king and queen to the event. There was a short symbolic debate among the orators, and then they began to decide who would lead the welcome oration. Apparently, large ava roots are symbolically presented to the center marquee. Ava, which is known in other specific countries as, I think it's kava, K-A-V-A, has always played, the articles say, a vital role in rituals and celebrations of specific islanders. It's not just a beverage, but a symbol of community, unity, and connection. And the oldest daughter of the chief, Maria, that's her in the middle with the headdress on, began to prepare the drink, which is made from dried and powdered ava root. She has tattoos, by the way, in case you noticed, running from her thigh to her knee, which is considered a symbol of seniority. She prepared the drink in a shallow bowl. There were 4 attendants assisting with filtering it, and then it was served to King Charles, and he drank up. Good for him. Now, as before, there's a lot going on, so it may not be in the correct order, but I'm trying. So, King Charles met with the traditional cricket team during the visit to the cultural village in Apia, I believe it's pronounced. King Charles met with the head of state of Samoa. Camilla, in the meantime, was with Prime Minister Naomi Fiame Matafa following the CHOGM Women's Forum side event at the Tanoa Tunisitala Hotel, also in Apia. While they were in the local village, they got to see some of the local people doing different kinds of weaving. I just find that stuff so interesting myself. Now, we know that the Queen's passion is literacy, and she learned how village children use the Bible and traditional storytelling techniques to learn to read. Charles and Camilla then moved on to the Mawada village, I believe is how you pronounce it, where Queen Camilla spent time with some of the school children, and they sang songs and told her, more about what they do and what they've learned. At one point, King Charles went to the national park where he met local villagers, and they had discussions on reforestation efforts, and then Charles posed in front of a beautiful waterfall. The scenery there, even with the rain coming down, is just beyond gorgeous. I wouldn't be able to stop looking at all that foliage. Now, while they were walking around, Charles and Camilla were introduced to the practice of traditional tattooing. The tattoo artist, told the king about the practice, and he said that it's a sacred art known as tattoo, T-A-T-U, and that it's very painful. And with that, King Charles thought that it might require a drink, but the artist insists that no pain medication is used. And the king asked if the pain lasts long, and the guy goes, "Well, it is a lifetime of pain. Welcome to the House of Pain, Your Majesty." It's being reported that each tattoo design is personal to each individual depending on their history and social status, and it can only be done by a Samoan tattoo artist with knowledge of the skill and culture. So remember, this was a cultural village organized by the Samoa Tourism Authority to bring together young people from different villages. So there were all different villages represented at this. And afterwards, Charles and Camilla were shown a traditional war dance and invited again to meet the national rugby and cricket teams, which I showed you earlier. This is a great show. I think they're doing a great job. I think that the two of them look really good. And I think that I don't know. I just think they're doing, listen, Charles is pausing his cancer treatment for this. You guys know what I'm saying. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Then go down into the description box where you'll find the link to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon, which is currently paused, my Amazon wishlist, and my physical address. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.